And welcome to CTN Sports Game of the Week. My name's Kevin Bryant here with the analyst job tonight, along with my great friend Pete Poyer doing the play-by-play. We're here at Riverbank Stadium for a match between the 2 and 3 Huron River Rats and their cross-town rival, the 2 and 4 Pioneers. The Pioneers led by Coach Kevin Taylor in his 7th year, taking on Coach Terry Collins River Rats. Pete, these two teams played last year in the regular season. They went back and forth in the regular season. Last time these two teams fought in a match, the River Rats came away with the district title. Good evening, my friend.
Thank you, Kevin. That's a very nice open. I am pleased and honored to return the honor of being your friend as well, the mayor of Ann Arbor, Huron.
Oh, please.
Kevin Bryant.
Hey, at kbsportsguy.com. We can start.
That would be your Twitter handle,
That's the Twitter handle. So we can start that voter registration right now, and I can take all the votes I can get. I have a lot of initiatives that I want to pass for you people out there, but first, just please follow me on Twitter.
Well, and mine is at Pete underline, and then Poyer.
Man, you're
Simple.
tricky with that.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, you keep it straight to the point.
Simple.
Nothing but the facts.
Nothing but the facts. And an occasional joke.
I think we might have a couple of those this evening.
All right, we are underway on the field. We finished our Mutual Admiration Society spot there.
Yes, indeed.
And we are underway.
That's needed. Makes me feel good this time of the evening, Pete. Thanks.
Well, it really is a very nice evening for a soccer match. The sun is starting to set in the western sky over the Riverbank Stadium field.
Especially for these kids. You know, we've dealt with a lot of rain in this early part of the fall season. Even last week, both teams had to play matches in the rain. Pioneer losing their match last week. I believe it was to Skyline. And the River Rats came away victorious their last match, 4-2 over Ortonville. Up in actually that match was played this weekend right here on this field, Pete.
The record's Pioneer at 2 and 4, and the River Rats at 2 and 3. So I expect this crosstown rivalry to be closely contested. So far, Pioneer has carried the possession in the early moments of the match.
Favorite part of doing a soccer match right now for me is that when myself and the super producer, we call him Rob Cross, we were over interviewing earlier this season Eve Claire, and we were just standing by the fence line, and one of the soccer guys, and I got to pick out his name or number because I told him I was going to give him some props. He says, "Hey, that's the CTN guys. Y'all going to do one of our games?"
Sweet.
And Rob turned and said, "We already got you on the schedule, my man. Tuesday night, the 12th. Bring your game." So let me figure out which number that guy is, and we're going to give him some props because it is actually he hasn't made it out onto the field yet, but once he does, we'll definitely give him his props. That Pioneer guy.
Well, that can create some excitement. When is he going to come on the field? When is Kevin going to say his name?
Well,
Are we reserving names right now to protect the innocent?
Yeah, and plus we got to give out props when props are due. You got to earn stuff here on CTN Game of the Week.
Yes, we don't just hand out props.
No.
You got to earn it, baby.
Oh, there's a nice tackle. Some good action there. Good defense there by the River Rats. Number 6 on the play there. I think that's Daniel Sokov. You know, looking over the River Rats roster, you can see. Oh, actually, that was Neil Beveridge, and Sokov came in and finished it up. But the River Rats really only have a handful of seniors, really young squad, even a couple sophomores out here. And in the net, I think that's Ben Trapp, a junior.
Well, he has not been tested yet so far in the match. He said all the play in the Huron side of the field. Huron has not gotten into the Pioneer zone as of yet, but it's early, just 36-24 to play here in the first half, 40-minute halves. Well, each team kind of feeling each other out. It's a nice back pass with the foot. Pioneer gets the throw in. Working down in the near corner here.
It's kind of nice that Coach Taylor gave us the rosters for the Pioneers. Unfortunately, numbers aren't on the roster. So your guess is as good as mine, sir.
Let me tell you, Kevin, this is high school sports at its finest. This is something that is quite typical. Players change numbers. They get called up from JV and they put on their JV jersey.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It happens all the time.
You know, one great fact that I heard, and I don't know if it's I shared this with you before the broadcast, Pete, that the Huron football team had less players try out for the football team. Over 100 tried out for the soccer team. So Coach Terry Collins had his pick of the litter.
Well, there were probably actually some cuts, eh?
Definitely cuts, and it really probably makes a very good, strong JV squad as well. That's Dante Bailey chasing that ball down. Unfortunately, it went out of bounds for the River Rats. You got to look at that. Young man has a cast on himself there. Lane Soray for the River Rats.
Well, as you know, Kevin, you can't touch the ball with your hands
So it really doesn't
or
matter.
arms.
Really doesn't matter.
So as long as his legs are strong, get out there on the field, young man.
Man, you're coaching the wings. A tough coach too.
Competitive, sorry.
Yeah, that Detroit Catholic Central upbringing.
Well, I certainly wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, whatever the indication you might have of that.
It was a big spoon though, wasn't it?
No.
No, I mean you're a Bigums.
Yeah, but my three older brothers are all little people. I mean, not little people necessarily, but smaller than me.
So you took the spoon from their mouths as well?
Probably. It was a competitive dinner table, let me just say that.
Oh, there's the River Rats getting the ball into there and still can't gain possession to mount an aggressive attack. It's been all Pioneer so far in this early match as far as holding on to the possession and methodically working their offense, Pete.
Just to go back to that size thing, I can't explain it. My oldest brother's 5'7".
Yeah.
The next one is 5'9".
Yeah.
And the one next to him is 5'10", and I'm 6'5". We all look alike, though, so
Okay.
there's no milkman involved.
I was going to wonder how tall the milkman was. How about the mailman?
He didn't look like me.
He could have delivered.
The mailman was a Mr. Robinson. I can't
You're
actually believe that.
You're
I remember
kidding.
that. He was the nicest guy.
Who remembers their mailman's name, Pete?
This is from before I was 9, after we
Wow.
moved in Detroit to another house.
Yeah, I seem to have a different mailman every week.
Yeah, I have a memory like that. I remember stuff like that. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I can remember my mailman's name from 1974.
Nice. Now, there was a good tackle there by Pioneer, slowing down the attack by the River Rats. Again, they're finally gotten the ball into their end. Let's take a quick look at that. And that was a little trippage action there, Pete.
Yeah, a little bit of a hard tackle there on the field, or should we say pitch.
And now a free kick.
Yes, indeed, a free kick awarded to Huron.
Bend it like Beckham here.
Oh, that's a long way from the goal.
Oh, wow.
And headed right on net and score! What a great free kick shot from really the 30-yard line. And it was bending, Kevin, right on the head of the Huron player and into the net.
Bradley Wang on the goal there, the midfielder, number 19. Way to use your head, Bradley. That was amazing how he redirected the ball. Didn't that go in, Pete?
It sure looked like that goal was in the net.
Was it offsides or something?
Must have been an offsides call on the sideline from the referee.
Oh, man. I still want to see that
That's
action.
a play that should be rewarded, really.
Yeah. And maybe they want to come up here and take a look at the CTN replay because, I mean, that, from our angle vantage point, was perfect. Perfect ball.
Definitely into the
net.
net.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at that because, I mean, the end product is put the ball in the back of the net, right?
That's what my grandma told me.
What could have possibly been the... And you can see the players are stopped there.
They had stopped
so maybe it was a whistle before that.
Maybe there's some kind of foul
I did
as the ball was coming in.
Well, I did see Sam Sugarman in the net for the Pioneers come out. Maybe someone touched him before that.
Or there was a shove on one of the defenders as the ball was coming in, and that's why they blew the whistle. There's a nice save there by Sugarman.
Well, hey, Bradley. And David Sokov with the kick. Didn't get a lot of mustard on that one, really. Kind of right off the side of his foot.
It was an easier save than it looked in real time, real speed.
Yeah, but the Rats are off to a good start because that's the first time they had the possession and are able to put an attack on the net. That's exactly what Terry Collins wants out of this young squad.
After the early moments of the match, having Pioneer really carry the play down in the Huron zone. Not too many shots on goal, but when Huron got it back on the other side of the field for the first time, they really attacked the net.
Now the Pioneers mounting their attack. That again comes down pretty simple to Ben Trapp, I believe, that's in the net tonight for the River Rats.
Too bad his name isn't Von Trapp. You could pull all of your Sound of Music things out. Because that's your favorite movie, isn't it?
Well, it's up there.
Yeah.
You know, that and Waterboy, I don't know. You know, we were talking about that on another CTN game of the week. You know, the last game of the year. Can't hold anything back.
That's right.
Those are some quotes that stick in my mind. Now, the Sound of Music, you don't want me to start singing.
I was coming up to the booth and you were singing The Hills Are Alive with the sound of Bryant.
I know. It's what I do.
It is.
Yeah. If you ever see me at a traffic light stadium in Maine and you're honking at me,
you're jamming.
I'm jamming out. Julia Andrews, Rogers.
Isn't that part of your Jamaican ancestry?
Yeah, man.
Well, Pioneer back the other way, trying to put some pressure on the Huron goalkeeper. He hasn't had a lot to worry about so far in this match. 28:30 to go here in the first half.
This is the third conference game for the Pioneers. They dropped to Skyline, and they also lost, I believe, to Monroe. And they were successful against Northville and actually Bedford. So let's take a quick look at this. You know,
a little back and forth. I think that was kind of that's a judgment call. Both players were kind of pushing each other.
Yeah, and that's Benny Wang, Bradley Wang's brother. And, oh, there's a nice footwork.
That clears the ball out of the Huron zone.
Soray.
Checking into the game for Pioneers, number 6, Louis Vaquero.
You don't need your hands for this kind of work, right? Let's see.
Absolutely not.
Nice. Doubled up there. But the Pioneers really, Pete, looking over the results of their games, have been really trying to get their offense going. Only scoring 6 goals on this young season in 8 matches. So actually, yeah, in 6 matches. So it's a goal a game, but you're not going to win a lot of games if that's what your output is on the offensive end.
Well, that puts a lot of pressure on your goalkeeper to pitch shutouts.
Yes, indeed. And actually, the Pioneers have been shut out 4 times.
So they've scored 6 goals really in 2 games, which is 3 goals a match, which that's a good output. But when your offense is that inconsistent, you're absolutely right, Kevin. You want some more consistency out of your team.
More balanced.
So when Pioneer does score goals, they scoring bunches.
Yeah, and that's the hallmark usually of a young team, really. You know, you get that momentum going and you start feeling good about yourself, and you can take a look at that penalty there. And here it comes in right here, a trippage. And number 15 for the Pioneers begging for some forgiveness, and that's one of those ones where you're right in front of the official.
Yeah, really too late and too hard of a tackle.
Yeah. So here we go, another good angle. So you're gonna have to watch 19 if he's going with the kick. It kind of looks like it may be Elliott Hughes, the other senior midfielder, but if Wang comes in, and Wang had that nice bender, he's coming in again, Pete. Oh, trickerage.
They kept it low, but it was blocked by the Pioneer defense.
I like the way Terry Hughes designed that play, kind of like an onside kick in football where you have several different kickers coming at, and it kind of throws the defenders and makes them pause for a second, not really knowing where the action is going to come off of the foot.
Well, they have to decide who is it going to kick the ball, and are they going to go high or low. So it gives you some options as an offense when you're doing a free kick. So, you know, trying to confuse the defense by keep them off balance by how you're going to kick the ball and who's going to kick it. They'll throw in for Huron down on the near side here.
Good job there by the Pioneers stealing that pass.
A long pass downfield, but just too far for the Pioneer attacker. That's picked up by Trapp, the goalkeeper, and he will kick it away. That was over the 50-yard line. Maybe Huron should take a look at a field goal kicker.
Kicker, punter? I mean, that guy has a foot.
Once Huron got their offense going, they certainly have kept up the pressure on the Pioneer defense.
Here comes the first substitutions for the Pioneers coming in the game. At 7, 5, 21, and 25 coming in at the next stoppage. Even match so far, Pete, skill set wise, energy level by both teams, and good tackling by both squads as well.
Under 24 minutes to play in half number 1.
And they say soccer isn't a tough sport. That ball came right at that young man.
Well, think about how much they run in a match up and down the field. Over a mile?
Oh, well over a mile. And you
That's
have
a lot of running.
And you're doing burst as well as distance, so it's really taxing. I mean, you look at these young men's thighs, and they're really lower heavy, you know.
Well, I think that benefits having a lower center of gravity as well in the game of soccer.
I think this is one of those sports, and a
lot of stamina.
Well, I was going to say fast twitch muscles too. I mean, because you got to make a decision which foot you're going to go off with, and you're bracing or bracketing off your defender while you're trying to control the ball at the same time.
Maybe they in the off season they do the chicken hunt like Rocky 3, where they put the chicken and the players got to chase the
around.
chicken.
I can see that. That's the big circle in the middle of the H field. All the boys are around in a circle. Maybe it's a river rat. Maybe
Well,
they toss a rat in the middle.
You can have chickens in an arbor now, so maybe they just borrow a chicken.
Oh, yeah, and I saw some turkeys, some wild turkeys this afternoon off of old Earhart Road, driving back there. So I mean, maybe they, whoever catches it, dinner on you, Jack.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
see,
my turkey sound effect.
You have so many sound effects in 2017. Oh, look at that move. Kind of did a nice little Maradona move there with the pirouette.
The spin move.
I saw a perfect one against it was a Saline Salem soccer match earlier this year, and I was filming the game. Dad next to me was filming it as well. He turned his camera off, Pete, and it was his son that does this move. And you should seen his reaction when I said, "Hey, man, I got you covered."
And you said, "How much money you got in your wallet?"
Well, no, I take Visa.
Oh,
so
got a little swiper thing on your cell phone?
I broke out the square.
Oh, we can attack that bank account. No problem, eh, Kevin?
So is this a soccer move, Pete? That's what I used to do to sophomores and juniors when I was a senior, running down the
a
football
little bit of
hallway.
an Olay move there.
I don't know. I think he took out a good swipe at the ankle.
Did you throw out your hands and scream in pain and grab your ankle
Nah.
like they do in soccer?
Nah, I giggled.
Oh. Referee said, "Get up."
Yeah. I'm also in a lot of HR videos.
I hope that means human resources.
Yeah, what not to do. So that's one of the new guys into the match there, number 25. Oh, Pioneer has numbers here.
Trying to work it in position to get a shot, but it knocked away by the Rat defense momentarily.
Oh, what a play there. That was some good defense. Dante Bailey, good job there of clearing the ball. First he heads it down, Pete, and then he kicks it out with his opposite foot.
So has your mystery player made it on the field yet?
Not out there yet. I still see him on the sideline, and I'm gonna give him some props when he gets out there.
Okay. He's not going to be like number 11 or something.
He's going to come in when it really matters.
Oh,
you know.
Okay.
Kevin Taylor, Kevin, the coach for Pioneer, patted me on the back and said, "Hey, Kev, we're going to keep this between the Kevins."
It's a Kevin thing.
Yeah, I mean.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Great job of retrieving that ball. Fortunately. Let's take a look at this one here, P. Somebody's laying down on the ground there. Is that a forearm shiver?
That would be the
elbow to the back. And they say most of the concussions are dealt with by, trying to head the ball.
Yeah.
Elbow doesn't hurt either. Number 7 for the Pioneers, laying some wood.
Well, and you also got to make sure your ankles are nicely padded, because I'll take a look at this replay really quickly here.
It's a good steal there from number 10. Unleashes a nice 20-foot kick, just a bit wide.
I was playing soccer,
30-foot kick.
And I got kicked in the ankle as a kid.
Did you lose a bet? Why were you playing soccer?
I was just a kid, just something to do.
Gotcha.
And I got kicked so hard in the ankle that my ankle actually was bleeding all over the place. Because it was just a pickup game. So we were just playing, goofing around.
Rub dirt on it?
No, I limped off and screamed in pain.
Did it get infected?
No, not that I know of.
Good job.
But
Last time you played too, huh?
But my ankle, I can always tell when the rain's coming because my ankle hurts. Does that sound like an old man thing?
Get off my lawn.
I've actually never said that. I don't have a lawn.
Now there's an attack by the River Rats.
Thwarted by the Pioneer defense.
And let's see here. Yeah, that's a good job by the Pioneer defensive clearing. When they get the River Rats get the ball down in the scoring position, the Pioneers defense really does shut down. But again, it's this side of the field where they're really going to have to work on things for Coach Kevin Taylor. It's more of an efficient attack.
Yeah, you're going to see the Pioneer defense kind of close down in front of the goal, in front of the net. Oh, free kick awarded to Pioneer.
Bill Turnbull, the sophomore midfielder for the River Rats.
He looks like he did something he should be ashamed of.
Yeah, well, he's pleading his case. He's a young coach in the making. I like the way he's working the officials. That's 3 or that's
and
a
the
bit
field
wide?
goal is good.
That was a bit wide.
However, they do not award points.
Man, that even bounced over
soccer.
the fence line back there.
That's some leg strength, that's for sure. Show off.
A little bit better accuracy on that boot, and might get rewarded for it.
Yeah, that was just a bit high. Under 17 minutes to play in the first half. No score as of yet.
Wow, that was a kick.
Both teams have had – Huron's probably had the better of the chances on net so far in this match, but Like you mentioned earlier, Kevin, that the Pioneer offense has got something they need to work on for, as far as being more consistent in scoring goals, pardon me.
Well, like a lot of net sports, Pete, I mean, the more times you have the possession and the more times you're attacking, it's a good job of blocking off there by number 12 for the River Rats. It's a good job, and he was rewarded. Turnbull there, sorry, but to finish off my point,
He got rewarded for working the referees.
Exactly, and I like the way he bracketed off the Pioneer player. You can see this again right here. He uses a good arm bar, and he's strong, close to handing the ball there, but kind of right off his shoulder before it hit his hand, Pete.
Must have been a judgment call by the referee there.
Yeah, but to finish off the point is the more times that the Pioneers are attacking the net, the better opportunity they are going to have of getting that ball in the back of the net. Getting a lot of floppage going on out here on the field right now. Look at this right here.
Goodbye.
But this second one here, I don't think 10 got touched. And that's just me. I'm looking at the super slow-mo here on CTN. But I really didn't see 10 get a touchdown. He didn't get rewarded either. The official didn't buy it.
These players must have been watching some Pistons footage, watching Bill Lambier flop. They can do that.
Now let's take one more quick look at this. All right, now
Stumbling,
watch the kick right
stumbling.
here, and he puts his foot down. He puts his foot down. It kind of goes over it. I know my guys in the truck are trying to show him getting kicked. He didn't blow a tire. Definitely at KB Sports Guy, we'll hear about that one. Some parent is going to say something.
Kevin is tweeting, or will tweet,
I do tweet.
or twit. How do they pronounce that?
You know, it's on the Snapchat now, so I don't even know about that. I'm old school. I tweet. Wow,
Boy.
that was a mystery fall too. I mean,
Is this a soccer pitch or
Hey,
a swimming pool?
well,
Because there's
after
a lot of diving going
after
on.
Turnbull had that discussion with the official, a lot of slippage is going on by these players. Look at Wang trying to do something. Good steal there, Pete.
Trying to put on, maybe they should put on some longer cleats or something. All the players hitting the turf.
I want to see the flip throw in. You know, I've seen the bicycle kick, but I haven't seen the flip throw in. And that would definitely make the CTN end of the season highlight reel. Because that's something new that we're going to do this year. We're going to vote on the best highlights of the year, Pete. So we're trying to save some of these great action plays and come up with the best one. Looks like we got a down player for the River Rats.
Are we handing out CTNs?
Oh, man, that might be in the work. That might be in the work. I kind
bet
of
you
like
look
that.
great in a tuxedo.
Oh,
Handing
man.
out awards.
Let's see this collision here from both sides. Oh, the Malachi crunch.
Yes, indeed. The 1970s reference, Kevin Bryant.
Hey, man. Pinky Tuscadero. Putting the quarters on your elbow.
And the tougher leather Tuscadero.
Oh, man. Jumping the shark tank.
Actually, it wasn't a tank. It was actually
A pool?
out in the ocean. They had a cordoned off area with a shark in it. And then he jumped that.
See, it would have been more cool if the Fonz caught the shark, put it in a tank, and then jumped over it.
Hey.
So it looks like the player for the River Rats is taking a seat on the bench there.
Maybe you could hit the shark on the head and it would start playing music.
I was trying to think of the cartoon with the shark.
Jabberjaw?
Jabberjaws. I mean, he was one of my favorite ones, man.
Really? With the, it sound like Curly from Three Stooges?
Oh. These kids are like cartoons. What's that? Man, the good old days of TV when you had like 4 channels.
Well, we had 5 because we had Canada.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Remember watching some CFL football before the NFL would come on, and I'm cool.
You know what I was watching? The Silver Broom Championships.
Oh, man.
Curling on CBC.
I saw something of that this weekend, and I told the person I was watching with, this isn't sports. This is cleaning a sports arena. I'm big in Canada, man.
At
They
KB
love
Sports
me.
Guy.
They love me up there. It's a good job by the Rats defense. They're collapsing.
Don't you have like 1.5 million followers on Canadian Twitter?
I'm huge in Canada.
Yeah.
But you got to go by the provinces, though. You know,
It's provinces.
provinces,
Province.
providences is it?
No. No D. Province.
Is it a C in there?
Yes.
Got it. I'm Jamaican, so we can't pronounce that much. Good steal there.
I have to claim some ancestry from Canada. My great-grandfather is from Quebec.
There you go. I can't say on the CTN airwaves what I like about Canada. It's fun. It's fun stuff, though. I love going to the casinos up there. I always win. I don't know if that's allowed on the CTN airways, though. Yeah. Where's he kicking it?
Trying to get it away from the goal, or at least the Huron player. The goalkeeper kicks it really high in the air. This is going to land out of bounds, so Huron will get the throw in. Looked like Thornbull was going to go for the throw in, but he hands it off to a teammate.
Yeah, well, Coach Terry Collins let him know what the play actually was, and he slowed him down right away.
I think the coach must have told him to go over and complain to the referee some more. We
got to get a shot of Terry on the sidelines. He definitely looks like a couple guys that I know of. I mean, that handlebar mustache he's got going on down there. He actually, from Old School, if you've ever seen the movie Old School,
yeah,
you would think he's coaching the Huron sideline right now.
Oh, Blue, you're my boy.
Oh, man.
Holy smokes. Yeah, that's a spitting image there.
I'm sure he has never heard that.
I feel like I want to break into a reverie of Dust in the Wind.
Can you say that 3 times?
No.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't try to either. I know my place. Approaching the 10 minutes ago mark in first half. No score here on CTN's Game of the Week. Pioneer visiting Huron River Rats at Riverbank Stadium. Hope you're enjoying all the action here on CTN Sports. I'm Pete Poyer along with Kevin Bryant.
Well, here we go again, right at the net. Good job cleaning up the...
Nicely defended by the Huron River Rats.
Again, their defense just collapsed down there, and that was Soray number Dante Bailey, sophomore midfielder, dropping back in and
was a little bit off the side of his foot there. He didn't get a lot of.
Oh, you mean the pioneer attacker?
Yeah, did not get a lot of power on the shot.
Good angle though, smart. Go cross cage, and that's a good angle to go to. We haven't seen a lot of that. Maybe if he puts a little air on it, like you're saying, he might be a little bit more successful.
Get that biscuit in the basket.
Love it. Can you say that in this sport? Well, you just did.
Well, it's kind of a hockey term, but, you know, some things transfer pretty well.
We are in the world of Wikipedia, so, I mean, you make it
Somebody's
up.
looking up biscuit in the basket on Wikipedia.
All you got to do is just put it on Wiki Pete's, and you're good. The River Rats did play a match this weekend, Pete, where they went into a penalty kick in 2 of the matches. So, I mean, you keep this kind of pace going on, and unfortunately they weren't successful in them. But they are prepared to fight it all the way to the final whistle and then some.
Well, Pioneer continues to pressure the Huron defense, and maybe that'll pay some dividends in the second half, wearing down the River Rats a bit, and maybe they'll get some better chances on net. That last shot on goal for Pioneer, just a little bit too hesitant, getting a quick shot at the net.
Well, and it's not even just the physical wear and tear on the Huron defense, it's the mental aspect of it as well. A lot of contact there. 5 for the Pioneers gets called for the penalty.
Free kick for the Huron River Rats.
Again, they and not real ticky-tacky, but just say overly aggressive. Especially when you see a head kind of move to the side like that, Pete. You can definitely tell it's some contact going on.
And Huron with a couple of errant passes there. Hands the possession back over to Pioneer. Long pass into the middle, but too far for Pioneer to catch up to. And Huron will defend it away.
Good pinpoint passing there out of the Rats. Right on each other's feet.
Well, Huron will possess at the moment. Try and work it down more methodically and patiently than they have so far in this first half. Another free kick awarded to Huron.
A little bit handy there by number 7 for the Pioneers. Not sure if it was an aggressive push, but it was a hand there. And maybe a foot, too. Sending David Sakov down to the turf.
A long pass downfield into that middle of that Pioneer defense. And again, the Pioneer defenders collapse into the middle and knock the ball away and move it down towards Huron's end zone.
And I think somewhat the Huron offense is getting impatient, Pete, because as opposed to doing what you were suggesting earlier as far as methodically taking it down the field, they're just unleashing balls just to clear it, and they're not really possessing and getting an effective attack. These guys are good down there on the defense. Huron's just not trying to – they're staying in position, Pete.
That's really the key to a good defense, is keeping your players where they're supposed to be. You get out of position, and that allows an opportunity on offense for the other team.
Wow. Soray is a nice big player out there for the River Rats, bigger than a lot of the other Pioneer players. You can see his size is different. He can take the contact some of these Pioneer defenders are dishing out.
5 minutes to play in half number 1. Some opportunities for both teams so far in this first half, but no one's able to cash in yet.
That's a little bit of extra contact going on there for the River Rats. Not getting called, though.
What is it? It's legal if you don't get caught?
Yeah, truly. And see, there's another kick that the Pioneer attacker really couldn't get up underneath and really mount a good, efficient ball towards the net.
Taking a look at that last foul on the replay. It was just kind of shoving the player away and keeping him away from the ball.
As long as the official doesn't catch it, you know.
There's a chip shot on goal. There's a nice save there.
First time, though, that they've the Pioneers actually got a shot that was effective, though. Really made Trap in the net there leave his feet, Pete.
Yeah, first really good opportunity for the Pioneers on offense. And maybe their work on offense is starting to wear down the Huron defenders and get them out of position and getting a little bit better opportunity.
Well, let's see this shot again from up top. And it's a good drop pass. And 25 unleashes a good ball. And, again, those are the type of shots on net that you need to have if you're Kevin Taylor for his Pioneers. This looks like it'll be a corner kick.
It's our first corner
actually,
kick
it's going to be a throw-in, actually.
Just a throw-in?
Yeah.
And that didn't go over the end line, went out the
side,
sideline.
yes. It's close.
There's an
There's a
effective
good ball.
pass into the middle. There's a shot on net, just wide of the net.
And again, you can see the Pioneers getting closer and closer and closer. It's like they're marching in for a goal. Quick feet here, number 10. Using his near side foot and just trying to knock it in that near side corner.
Just a little bit of a bad angle, a little bit better angle towards the net, and that would have been in the side right near the corner
Good
of the
thought
net
process
for Pioneers' first goal.
There's a new player for the Rats, Cone, Chaka Cone. You love that, right? Chaka Cone.
Oh, I'm thinking Chaka Khan right immediately.
Number
You know,
22,
she was in the
the
movie
senior
The Blues
midfielder.
Brothers as part of the choir.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's like her first movie role.
nice.
The one where James Brown is kind of the lead choir.
I feel good.
Yeah. She is in the choir.
Nice. That's when Belushi saw the light.
Absolutely. Under 2 minutes to play in half number 1. Pioneers kind of with more of the offensive pressure here in the later parts of the first half.
Too bad it's not horseshoes, because they're close.
Unfortunately, it's not horseshoes or hand grenades. Close doesn't count.
Nice.
There's an intercepted pass there, but Huron will cover up.
Nice footwork. Dante Bailey, he's doing a good job of defense down there for the Rats, the midfielder. Love to see him on the offensive end. He's been unleashing some good kicks. There's Bailey again on the defense.
Well, right now you kind of have the feeling that Huron's kind of looking forward to the halftime break as they are being pressured heavily here by Pioneer. Under a minute to play.
Whoa.
And a long pass downfield, another intercept by Pioneer.
I said whoa because I could hear that all the way up in the press box, that contact, without a penalty.
Long pass.
Oh, there we go.
And into
there
the
we
net
go.
for a goal.
There we go.
Pioneer scores. They draw first blood here late in the first half with just 14 seconds to go. And Pioneer takes the lead 1-0.
Not sure what the number 7's name is, but, man, look at this 40-yard kick. Oh, it's about a 30, 35-yarder inside.
Long one and just wide of the goalkeeper and into the net.
Well, you said it, Pete. I mean, Pioneer were putting the pressure on. They were getting closer and closer to. They were peppering the net, and just like that, they get it in for the score.
Well, and really, after in the first half, Huron had the best chances of scoring a goal. One called back on a foul.
Yeah.
And that will do it for the end of half number 1. Pioneer scores late and makes the contest 1-0. We are going to take a break and be back with second half action here on CTN Sports.
Let me ask you a question. What do you value? How about access to your child's education, their football game, their swim meet, their high school musical, their academic future? Does that matter? What about your access to your government, your police, fire, and public safety, parks and recreation activities, state and local officials, the folks you elect to make decisions for your community? Is that worth anything to you? What about your rights, freedom of speech, to communicate your message, to let your voice be heard? That's got to count for something, right? So let me ask you again, what do you value? How about public, educational, and government access television? It belongs to you. Let's keep it that way.
I'm a fire inspector with the Ann Arbor Fire Department. Today, we're going to count down the 5 most common fire hazards in the home. Number 5, unsafe storage. Always keep a 3-foot space around your water heater and furnace. And never store flammable or combustible materials like paint, aerosol cans, rags, or towels near a furnace, a water heater, or even your gas dryer. Number 4, careless use of candles. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Don't place lit candles in windows, and when you extinguish them, be sure the wick stops glowing. Number 3, overloaded outlets. Did you know that small appliances are still consuming energy even when turned off or not in use? Save money and gain peace of mind by unplugging them. Number 2, careless smoking. Use large, deep ashtrays. Make sure contents are cool prior to disposal, and never smoke in bed or when you're drowsy. And the number 1 fire hazard in the home, careless cooking. Always start with a clean cooking surface. Remove grease from stovetops and counters. Don't wear loose-fitting sleeves, and never leave food unattended while cooking. Always turn pot handles toward the side of the stovetop. If your pan does catch fire, cover it with a lid, turn the heat off, and call 911. I hope you found these tips helpful. Your safety is our business. And make sure your home address is visible from the street. If we can't find you, we can't help you.
Battalion 2 to dispatch. Fire's under control. Everyone's out safe.
And welcome back to CTN Sports presentation of the game of the week. It's a soccer match between Pioneer and Huron on the pitch of the Riverbank Stadium. Pioneer scoring the only goal very late, just 14 seconds to go in the first half when Pioneer cashed in, and they have the 1-0 lead as we head to half number 2.
Yeah, that was Rishi Nimaron, number 7, senior, on the goal there for the for the Pioneers. And Pete, you were saying it just before that goal went in, how the Pioneer offense is just knocking on the door, and they were able to find a way to get the ball beyond Ben Trapp, the netminder for the River Rats.
Just had the right angle on the shot, kept it low, close to the turf, and it was just out of the outstretched arm of Ben Trapp.
And you know, it's kind of similar to another match that these two teams played earlier last year, about the same time, where Pioneer took an early lead, and then a real spirited halftime speech by head coach Terry Collins really sparked his team in the second half. Maybe for the River Rat faithful, Terry dug into that old cupboard and brought out that recipe again.
Well, we were watching him at halftime, and he was somewhat animated again at this half.
He's fired up, to say the least.
We'll see if that halftime speech will fire up these River Rats and they can come back and win this match.
Got to protect this house, man. But you know, Pioneer has a bone to pick, having lost in the district play to to Huron last year. And here's another replay of Nimron right from about a 20-yard, 25-yard kick when you add in that goal line, and he really found a great angle, kind of almost like a penalty kick action, really, Pete, from the exact same doorstep and going down and away from trap. It was just a well pinpoint shot in the corner of the goal.
Nice job, young man, giving your Pioneers the lead. It's early here in the second half, and Pioneer is still kind of carrying the play to Huron right now.
Both teams really are in the same position to start off the kind of like the first third of the season. They both have dropped more games than they've won. Both teams are still trying to get their feet up under them when it comes to the offensive end. And for Coach Kevin Taylor, he can't be more than happy with the way his Pioneers have come out this evening.
A hard tackle there.
And it's going to end up in being a corner kick here. This is a great opportunity for the River Rats. Let's see how this ball will land.
First one of the match. Referee's making a...
Yeah, I think he may be bleeding. You know, he kind of is grabbing his nose there area, and I'm not sure if we can zoom in enough, but even Terry Collins is trying to help him out.
Well, we have a player exchange there right before this corner kick, first one of the match.
And this is where Huron size may step up. You know, I was mentioning how some of their players physically are a lot larger than some of the Pioneers. That ball is just a bit wide, though. No one from the Rats could control the pass coming in.
Well, throw in for Pioneer.
Dangerous play there by the Rats. Good job coming up with 17 for the River Rats. That was Charles Katila.
Well, once again, Pioneer in the Huron zone trying to pressure the goalkeeper, and that one's off a foot and out of bounds. Huron will get the throw in.
Pioneers have just been on the attack more this entire match and really possessing the ball. And, again, it's not just the physical presence, but it's the mental stress that the Huron defense is having to fight through. Each time they're not getting to the happy side of the center line. They're playing defense.
Well, certainly not enough times in order to get some pressure on the Pioneer defense and try and do the same thing that the Pioneers are doing to the Rats right now.
And I seriously think, Pete, that when you're on defense, it's stressful. You're fatiguing yourself as well more, and you're not having fun. I mean, you play the sport not just to win, but to have fun. And when you're on the defensive end, you're just not enjoying the match. It's too stressful. There's another physical play by the River Rats coming in. That's Sore. Let's make sure that he doesn't use that big cast on his hand.
Well, he's much bigger than the Pioneer player.
There's Bailey. Bailey can really boot the ball. He's kind of almost out-kicking his offense, though, each time that he is centering that pass downfield.
Well, it does certainly clear the pressure for a moment where the Huron defense can gather themselves together again. But Pioneer right back at him, putting that pressure on. It's got to get a little disheartening after a while when everything you do, you can't turn it around and do what they're doing to you.
Here we
nice
go
play
again.
There. Down near the goal once again for Pioneer. It's directed on it and just wide of the net.
It's a great effort. It's a good play there by the Pioneers. Good teamwork, really using each other's strengths. And if the Pioneer attacker could have maybe gotten a little bit more air on this ball, let's check it out. If 8 can get this ball upstairs in that corner, he may have been rewarded.
Close call there.
Not real strong attacks out of the River Rats. Not any shots on goal, really, for the netminder for the Pioneers. I mean, Sugarman has been challenged one time maybe, Pete, and that was on that header from the free kick that was called back. He's bored back there. He's probably doing homework.
Well, certainly not enough consistent pressure by the Huron attack to really put a lot of pressure on that goalkeeper, Sugarman. As Pioneer really, again, continuing to carry the play to the Huron River Rats.
And it's good spacing. If you notice how the Pioneers' offense is spread out, you don't have two people in the same zone. There's another shot on goal, but that was really set up well by the spacing of the Pioneer offense. You know, Coach Taylor really has to be happy with the way his team has showed up tonight so far.
Nice save there by Trapp.
I like that.
Here's a look at it on the replay.
And that's what I was mentioning before. Those shots have a bit more opportunity of finding the back of the net when you get a little bit air up under them. Kind of a knuckleball action coming in at the netminder. Not sure which way it's going to go.
Well, there's not a lot of wind tonight, so they certainly don't have to worry about the ball moving too much from the wind.
And that's
but certainly when you put a lot of action on the ball on the kick, that can certainly confuse the goalkeeper, and that's obviously the idea.
And I think a lot of times the River Rats, they know that, playing here off of the banks of Riverbank Stadium. You know, that's something that we're going to have to put in our Wikipedia file as well, too. But, you know, maybe they are playing the wind off of the old Huron River on certain nights, and that's not in their wheelhouse tonight to go to.
Well, and it would certainly be kind of home field advantage, knowing
Has to be
where the wind comes from, when it comes, and how to deal with it.
But it's really going to have to start with Huron possessing the ball and mounting an attack, and that's just something they've been unable to do. And a lot of it isn't just the inefficient offense, but it's been the efficient defense of the Pioneers. Nice tackling as well as clearing the ball, and again, their spacing once they do clear the ball allows the Pioneers to possess the ball and mount their attacks.
Approaching the 30-minute mark to go here in half number 2. Again, really from the start of the second half, it's been pretty much all Ann Arbor Pioneer.
And even the body language of the River Rats doesn't seem as energetic and as enthused or into the match as the Pioneers seem livelier.
Well, it's only a one-goal match right now anyway, so, you know, Huron's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
But they can't mount any momentum with tackles like that. That's a great play to change the possession very quickly when Huron's approaching midfield.
Well, and it certainly leads to a lot of frustration by the players. Huron able to really defend the ball away quite a bit, but Pioneer right there to keep it from going over the midfield line.
And just like that tackle there by 28, it was a good job by keeping the ball and the pressure on the River Rats. Number 25 is quick with his feet.
Trying to center the ball for another opportunity on offense.
That's a little bit of and one play there with the handling of the action there, a little dribbling right in front of somebody. Not going anywhere, though, for the Pioneers.
Well, Huron staying in good position in front of the Pioneer players. A little bit of a mugging there.
Well, what the Huron Rats the River Rats have to do is create an opportunity. You know, they really have been playing defense literally as well as in their mindset and approach to this match. They haven't done anything once they've had an opportunity other than the kick that found the net that was pulled off of the scoreboard. Or maybe not even made the scoreboard because of the infraction before.
Well, another free kick for Pioneer. We're right about at the 25-yard line. Long pass into the middle, knocked away. Another referee's whistle and a foul on Pioneer, so Huron will get the possession back. Big
opportunity here for the River Rats to at least give their defense a break. by possessing the ball on the offense and hopefully setting up at least an attack to give their defenders a little bit of a breather. Well, that's out of the window.
Oh, picked up by Pioneer.
25.
Nice move there.
He's a little faster than everyone out there as well, too. You can even hear, maybe even some of our mics down there can hear, the Pioneers are really communicating well tonight as well. You can hear them talking, and you can hear them, you know, calling each other out, Pete, and letting them know. That's where the coaching really steps in, because now you don't have people out of position. You have them communicating.
Goal kick there for Huron.
Now here we go again with Bailey booting the ball downfield. He needs to not out-kick his offense and really try to find someone once he does put a foot on it. Let's see how he's going to adjust to what he's done earlier in the match.
A long kick down the middle of the field. And it does connect to a Huron player. Isn't that Thornbull? No, it is not.
No, it was Wang. And, again, the Pioneers know who they're going against because they swarmed down on him and stole the ball.
Pioneer back the other way off the steal, surrounded by defenders and knocked away.
Look at Bailey. I mean, he has a rocket foot there. The ball really jumps up off of that right foot.
26 minutes to play in the half, or in the match, rather. Throw in for Pioneer. Once again, Pioneer possessing the action and the ball. It really looked like the Huron defenders are kind of chasing after the Pioneer players.
Yeah, they're one step behind each time. That ball couldn't get through. It's a good job of the defense collapsing, but again, you're right, Pete. The Huron attackers aren't making any kind of movement up the field. They're playing in a defensive mode, and they're just allowing the Pioneers to take shot after shot and putting the pressure really on themselves, the River Rats are, because they've not been effective. And see, there's a changeup from what Bailey has been doing as far as booting it downfield. Maybe they need to methodically take the ball upfield as opposed to trying to just outkick the defenders from the Pioneers.
Well, and make the Pioneers work and chase the ball. There's another intercept by Pioneer. Good job there on defense.
Yeah, good job of anticipating that pass and cutting off the passing lane for the Pioneers. Yeah, I definitely think Coach Collins had a word there with Bailey, because, again, he's now finding some of his midfielders and attackers, as opposed to trying to kick it to them, placing it to them right on their feet and having them take the ball upfield.
Long pass downfield, chase for it.
Baylor just escort that one out for a goalie kick.
Checking into the game for Pioneers, number 15, Charlie Rogers. He is joined by
Well, Trapper will take this goal kick.
Daniel Guttenberg.
Once again, Huron having difficulty connecting after that kick.
A little contact there, nothing called though. Oh, now the Pioneers have an advantage here coming in.
Good passing to work it down a little deeper into the Huron zone.
It almost seems like Pioneer has an extra person out there. They're just
Or two.
Yeah, they're just outnumbering the Rats when it comes to getting to the ball.
Well, Huron throw and immediately intercepted by Pioneer. Pioneer just doing a better job making getting in the way of the ball and making it hard for Huron to work it downfield.
Well, better energy as number 22 comes in for the River Rats, replacing Zolan Batista. Chakakun, number 22 for the Rats in. Just back and forth play now. This is really playing into the Pioneers' wheelhouse as far as keeping the action on their end of the field. And Huron, again, hasn't unleashed, less than 4 shots on goal this entire match. And nothing really outside the one that, again, was an infraction before it found the back of the net for the Rats. But Sugarman has been asleep really back here in the goal for the Pioneers because he hasn't been needed.
Especially here in the second half.
Really, the Rats have not possessed the ball inside their own 30. And see, there's another kick there by Bailey, but there's nobody home. Hey, Sugarman is on the field.
He will boot it down the field. Well, he gets a lot of air underneath his kicks. Coming up on the halfway point in half number 2. Pioneer with the only goal so far, that coming with just 14 seconds to play in half number 1.
Good skill work here by the Pioneers. That, again, they're methodically moving the ball downfield, and we keep using that word because they're patient with it. And that patient paid off in the first half when they did get that goal with just 7 seconds on the clock. And great anticipation there by 25 on the throw-in. I keep wanting to look down and find the penalty box that maybe there's a couple of River Rats in the penalty box because it definitely just feels, just on eyeballing it, that there's more Pioneers out here.
Well, they certainly have the higher amount of energy
level.
Traveling on the road, getting excited to meet your crosstown rival on their turf.
And you definitely want to avenge the loss in the districts that the Pioneers suffered at the hands of the Rats last year. A lot of these players were on that squad. They remember.
What's that saying about paybacks?
I think that's on the no-no list. See, good patience there. When it wasn't a good attack, 28 finds his teammate, and Pioneer knows that if they can get an effective shot, it's better than just any shot. And on the flip side of that, the River Rats, once they kick the ball on their end, they're not as patient with their offense, and hence the effectiveness of their attack is lessened.
Well, play been a bit chippy this whole match. Maybe the River Rats starting to get a little bit frustrated with their ineffectiveness on offense. There's a
great save.
Diving save by Trapp, keeping this just a 1-goal match.
And Trapp has had a pretty efficient night. He's had to face many shots, and he's been all over the place. He's definitely going to have a dirty uniform.
Well, you see he's positioned on the far side of the net. He's got to go a long way to dive and get that.
And he came out to cut off the angle to that ball very well. I threw the 5-hole there.
Ball out of bounds. Huron throw-in.
Rats trying to press the pressure quickly.
17:20 to play here in half number 2.
The energy level out of 2-5 for Pioneer has been what you want as a Coach Taylor. I mean, that guy has been everywhere. His engine and motor is just constantly on go.
Oh, Huron with an intercept, but a little bit of a lazy pass there.
Sure was.
And Pioneer gets it right back.
Oh, wow. He's got him twisted around like he's on a top.
That ball out of bounds off a Huron player. Maybe Pioneer throw-in.
And you can see right there on that shot, the Huron defender down to his knees. And hand on the knees is a good sign of being fatigued.
Well, time slowly ticking away here in the second half. For the Rats, they're going to have to start maybe getting a little bit more desperate, more on the attack mode, a little less defensive, and try something.
Well, again, they have to
get
make something, Pete. They're sitting back and they're playing defense more than making anything happen. And these guys are varsity players, so they've been playing this sport all their lives. They know how to turn that switch on. Unfortunately, the Pioneers have just been frustrating them this entire match.
Easy save there for Trapp. A lot of hard work done by the Pioneer attackers, though, trying to get those shots on net.
Well, they definitely are in double-digit shot production for the Pioneers. They've been peppering the net, and here comes 32 inside. And, yeah, it may not have been one of those haymakers. That's a jab right there. And eventually the jab turns into a hook or an uppercut, and you find the back of the net.
And hence the second goal, which would probably be the knockout for Huron.
Well, in this match, even just this one goal is the knockout because the River Rats have not even had a shot on goal here in the first half of the second half.
Under 15 minutes to go.
Oh, man. Sugarman comes way outside of the net.
That ball knocked away and
Dangerous.
moved downfield by Pioneer. That might have been the closest the River Rats have come to the Pioneer net all second half.
Well, I think Sugarman was just a bit antsy to get in some action. That's what pulled him out of the net so far. And luckily for the Pioneers, his aggressiveness didn't cause them any harm.
Checking into the game for Pioneers, number 7, Rishi Emerin.
Well, here comes the guy that got our only goal of the night, Rishi Nimmerun.
He's going to take the throw in for Pioneer.
You know he's anxious to get back out into the action.
Oh, booted away by the Huron defense once again. Trying to settle that ball down, finally was able to do so.
Wang definitely has some good feet for the River Rats, number 19.
Oh, errant pass there, taken over by Huron. That Pioneer right there to intercept it back and just keep Huron away from their own net.
You can even see that the River Rats defense is losing some of its steam. Their energy level on this end has definitely taken down a tick since we began the second half. Pioneer offenders are just, their offensive guys just running around without any Huron defenders nearby.
Well, I think that Pioneer offense has done a good job wearing down the Huron defense.
And now maybe the Huron Rats can set up an attack here.
Long pass, just too far.
The attempted header there by Kuhn.
Well, and that kind of looked like a little bit like a desperation move with that kick. Just a little bit too much, a little bit too far. Could have done a little bit something more efficient to work the ball downfield closer to the net.
So you think the Rats are pressing a little bit here?
Absolutely. To me, it just seems like it's something that somebody does when they're running low on energy.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't think clearly when you have a full tank of energy as well. Probably one
pass
of the
over the end line.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes the Pioneers have made here by not outkicking the offensive player there.
11 and a half minutes to play in the match.
You can even see Bailey taking his time to get back out on the field of play. Trapp had to wait for him because he's a bit winded.
The game for Pioneers, number 10, Joshua Martins Caulfield.
Well, I think that the Pioneers have substituted freely and often and kept their players fresher. And that's allowed them to sustain this attack the entire match.
Yeah, and Coach Taylor's 7th year, they've been going back and forth with the matches with the River Rats, and tonight they've definitely come in with a solid game plan thus far in the match. There's a little shove there. Yeah, I think I saw it back up here for Soare with his good hand.
Well, and that's another thing that weary defenders do is they can't get close enough, so they start shoving.
Well, they're a bit, they're not just fatigued, but they're tired. You know, I mean, they're 1 or 2 steps behind. You can see the sweat dripping off of some of these Huron players. And the Pioneer players, again, you're saying they are substituting freely. But the River Rat players look a bit gassed just on the perspiration on the face of a lot of the players.
Oh, Huron moving up its players.
Easy call there.
So let's see if they work it down a little bit more patiently.
Well, just right there, you can see from our angle, Pete, the spacing of the River Rats isn't as efficient as it is for the Pioneers. The Pioneers have just come in, and their approach to this match has really been trying to turn their season around, coming into the match 2-4. That this is nice save there by Trapp, and it looked like he might have fell on top of the ball there, and may have lost a little bit of his wind or heartburn.
Well, Trapp's going to sleep good tonight.
He's been everywhere, and it looks like the official's going to come over and give him a breather. A little timeout action here on the field.
Looks like maybe he landed on the ball and it kind of knocked the wind out of him.
Is this one of those instances like in football where the team is doing a hurry-up offense and maybe the defender takes a little bit of a breather, saying, I'm not sure, but I don't know. Because it looks like he kind of fell more on his back than he did fall on the ball there in that replay. But you can never get question.
You ever taken a shot to the solar plexus?
Oh, it's hard.
And the wind, you can't inhale.
Well, I did when I told our super director, Rob, that I wanted to do the show by myself, and he punched me, and he said, no, this is all Pete Poirier, man.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Rob hates
solar
me.
plexus. Solar plexus.
I had that happen to me one time as a kid, and it was like all the wind gets
losing
forced
the
out
wind?
of you, and you can't inhale. You just
man.
How do you breathe in? It's just like you forgot to breathe. How to breathe in.
Yeah. You can still see in the goal there, Trapp is still grabbing his side. So it may not just be him losing wind, but also, yeah, that's upper rib area. Oblique.
Yep.
Where, I mean, he's been busy tonight. So, like you said, he's going to sleep well. But
the oblique is very painful, and it takes a long time to heal.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a kid. He can get back out of the wheelhouse, get back into it. There's a little action there by number 10. Didn't get called, though.
Well, throw one for Huron.
I wonder where Soiree get to use his cast it all tonight. Will that be called handing if he used the cast? His hand?
Yeah.
It's not his hand.
It's, in effect, his hand.
Gotcha.
Unless the referee's doesn't see it.
Well, it's the 6th game of the season. You have nothing to lose.
Okay, Dan.
Well, that was a nice little quick shove by 30 from Pioneer.
Just 7.5 minutes to go. Riverette's going to have to come up with some instant offense here. Try and create a scoring opportunity, and they're going to have to cash in.
The ball's awarded to the Pioneers.
Well, Sugarman will get the goal kick.
See, Sugarman's bored back there. Got to try to get a little action. That could have gone either way, really, on our replay. It kind of looked like it may have went off the foot of one of the Pioneers.
Is that a soccer match play over there or a wrestling play?
You know, at this point of the match, that's what Huron has to break out. They might have to do a little WWE.
Well, Sugarman taking his time.
Yeah, under 7 minutes. Why not? You know, let the clock tick away.
Well, and I'm sure that ball needed to be adjusted by less than an inch before he kicked it.
He's precise.
Ah. Well, it kind of looks like the Pioneer offense is starting to sag a little bit as Huron starts to carry the play a little bit more. Pioneer looking more like they want to try and just run the time off the clock. And get away with a victory on the road here.
Well, there's a lot of time on the clock, and one mistake by the Pioneers, and that can spell doom because the Rats here are trying to get it into attack mode. But I've never been one to take that method. You know, let's sit on it.
Well, and it could be that the Pioneer attackers are just starting to get a little tired as well here late in the match.
Yeah, they definitely been busy. Here comes Wang, and you can see how many people Wang has to go through. I mean, there's 7 defenders back there between him and the netminder, and it's just not an effective attack. It's a good strategy.
Well, you can see that the Pioneer player could have played that ball, but decided to make sure it rolled over the end line so they could take a little bit more time on the goal kick. 4:50 to play here in the match.
And you can see Terry Collins coming over to Wang and escorting him over to the bench area. Wang went right down to his feet. I mean, right down to his backside and took a break there. And not sure if he injured himself on that last move or if it's just fatigue. But he's definitely going to take a breather right now.
Yeah, it certainly looks a little frustrated on the sideline. And he does look a little worn out.
And you can see him looking for a water bottle, and you can see one of the trainers going over to talking with him. And is that a bag of ice? Yeah, it is. He may have taken one in the shin area.
So he will take a seat on the bench and attend to whatever injury he may have. Didn't look like it was too serious. Just maybe he's got a little swelling and put some ice on it and get that swelling down.
Hopefully. You don't want to see him put it on his head or something like that. I mean, we have a lot of head injuries in this sport, surprisingly.
Under 4.5 minutes to play. Again, Huron trying to do everything they can to get past this Pioneer defense, but it certainly looks like there's been an adjustment in the play of the Pioneers to go a little bit more defender heavy.
Defense mode.
And keep the Huron players away from the Pioneer net as we get to the closing moments of this match.
And Pioneers are trying to make a switch right there for number 20 to come in. Now they're going to allow the change as 17 sprints off the field. And I think you're right, Pete. Coach Taylor's putting in the tough defenders to close out this match. And this is a big moment here for the River Rats if they want to get back into it with this free kick. Good communication by the Pioneers to really collapse. That was a good shot there. You know, trying to lob it over over Sugarman's head was the River Rat attacker.
Opportunity to try and catch him asleep at the switch.
Well, that's the only way that the Rats earlier in this match were able to get a ball beyond Sugarman. It didn't count, but it was a long shot. It was high in the air, and Sugarman kind of misjudged it going in off of a nice header.
Ball over the head of the Huron defender, creating an opportunity here for Pioneer, and Trapp will come out and grab that ball and negate the Pioneer opportunity.
Well, now Huron really has they really have to press the pressure now on these Pioneers. Final 3 minutes of the match. This is do or die time, Pete.
Well, we'll see if those Rats can come up with a goal and tie this match up late, like the Pioneers did late in the first half when they scored the only goal so far.
Exactly. And you got a
coming
faithful
with
crowd
14
out
seconds
here.
to play.
You got a crowd that's still in the stands for the River Rats. They're trying to hang out and cheer this bunch on. Not a lot to cheer about for the River Rats, but it's nice to see in these nice fall evenings, you know, a lot of parents and faithful from the River Rats out in the stands.
Well, it is starting to cool a bit here late in the game, but certainly is pleasant. The temperature is not too cool yet. So
yeah, probably
certainly a
low
great
60s.
night to come out and watch a soccer match.
And it's great when it's no breeze because, you know, you can get a breeze out here and it changes the way your body feels. And another save by Trapp, Pete. And if there's one good moment that'll come out of the film session, it is how Trapp has covered that entire net for the River Rats for Coach Collins.
Certainly he is a candidate, even though he's on the wrong side of the scoreboard, as our player of the game.
He's definitely had a spirited match. He's been everywhere around that cage. Unfortunately, his attackers haven't helped him out with putting any kind of points or goals on the board to help him out.
Minute and a half to play in the match.
Here we go, a little bit of action.
And that shot just high over the net.
Yeah, Turnbull, he's been one of the most aggressive players for the River Rats today. Been very animated with the referees, and it's a good pass. I'll take a ricochet, really. And good thought process, just a bit high. And again, the Pioneers aren't in a hurry to trigger the action.
Last minute of play in the match. The Pioneer really just got to play a little keep away here for just a little bit, and they'll come away with the victory.
Well, that ball's going down, Fuller.
Oh, Pioneer will get the throw in. 30 seconds to go.
And they actually switch it back to the River Rats, and they're quick to trigger the action.
Well, the final seconds of the match.
Smart play there by the Pioneers again. They just really came in, the Pioneers, with a better game plan and really executed it well tonight, Pete.
More energy, Certainly a better all-around game by the Pioneers as the final seconds tick off the clock. And that's going to do it as time runs out on the Huron attack. And Pioneer will come away with the 1-0 victory over Huron at Riverbank Stadium from the campus of Ann Arbor Huron High School. We are going to take a quick break and come back with our final thoughts right here on CTN Sports.
And welcome back to our CTN Game of the Week. I am now joined with our player of the game, Rishi Nimran, with the goal that made the difference for the Pioneers. Rishi, I want you to break down the goal that you scored and what you were going through your mind on how you got that ball behind the netminder for Huron.
Well, our defender hit the ball up to our forward, and he dropped the ball back to me on top of the box. And I saw my shot, took a touch, and hit it, and just luckily got past the keeper.
Well, it was a nice game. You guys approached this match with an aggressive offensive attack, and you really possessed the ball well. What does this mean for your team? You're almost at the 500 mark, but you beat your crosstown rival. What does this victory mean for you guys, you feel?
We've been having a rough season so far, a losing record, but I think winning this game can really turn us around and get us going for the rest of the season and into the playoffs.
Perfect. Well, congratulations again on being our player of the game. All right, and we'll send it back up to you, Pete, to close out this broadcast on CTN's Game of the Week.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you to our player of the game, Rishi Nimran. I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross, audio and replay by Matt Drake, computer graphics by Carl McCoy, and our camera people, Dana Denha, Gage Shaughnessy, Robert Hornbacker, and Jill Andrews. Once again, the final from Riverbank Stadium. It's the Pioneers 1 and the Huron River Rats 0.